Hello, hello, hello again, my lovelies. This is your early evening stream. Okay, I took some of y'all's advice and I took some of y'all's suggestions on topics y'all wanted me to do it on, and one of them was magic. And I thought the first thing we could go over was servitors because it's not something that a lot of people talk about. It's not something that a lot of people know about. It is similar to a tulpa, if you've ever heard of what a tulpa is. If you haven't, easy Google. Um, that's Tulpa, tulpa. But a servitor's different. And I thought today I could tell y'all all about servitors, what I know, and tell y'all a little bit about my my dealings with servitors. In my circle, it's practiced, but it's not necessarily talked about. We don't run around to each other telling everybody we created a servitor. We don't go telling our friends, hey Doug, good night. Thank you for stopping by. We don't tell our friends. We don't run and scream it at out at the mountaintops. Um, because servitors are they're not necessarily smiled upon. Some people would call them downright evil, demonic. They're not. Servitors are kind of what you make them to be. So, let's get started. Me and a apprentice of mine, I will say, were talking one day. And we were having this long, deep, down the rabbit hole, magical esque conversation. And the topic somehow led us to um, basically, in a nutshell, manifesting and mind control and what your mind is capable of and your power and what your personal power is capable of. And I had let my apprentice know at the time, hey, Big Cole, that I had done an episode on the Eternal Ones with the Vault of Nightmares and Chaos Theory Productions of tulpas. Hey, Paula. And I was letting her know about tulpas, and she said she had heard something similar in a book. And this isn't your everyday magical book. This is one of those books that it either falls into your lap or you have to go searching to find it. It's not one of your everyday walk into the bookstore, walk into the thrift store and find this magical book. It's not one of those books. It's not readily in your face. And she told me about this book she read. And she said she remembered something similar in the book, but she couldn't exactly remember what it was. So I had Scribed at the time. I had a account with Scribed, which is a wonderful, wonderful app if you are looking to read online and download books and anything like that. I highly recommend getting Scribed, Scribd. It's cheap. They have thousands of books on there, even audiobooks. So if you're interested in things like that, they have tons of different categories. Check out Scribed. Hey, Mischievous. But I went and I downloaded the book that she told me about. It took me a little bit to find it, but I found it on there. And I downloaded it and I started reading it. And it got to the topic of servitors. And I got to reading about a servitor. And There's actually servitors, and then there's a different type. It deals more with the element side, but I chose to follow the servitor path instead. Like I said, there's two paths. There's a left and a right, and let's just say I took the right road and I forwent the left. So I got to reading about servitors. And like I said, if you know about tulpas, you will understand about servitors. The thing about a servitor is you create it. You manifest it. You make it become alive. But the thing is, you own it. It's yours to do with what you will. Now, how do you make a servitor, you ask? Well, there's several different ways you can do it. But I'm going to tell y'all and I don't agree with anybody that doesn't know what they're doing. Don't try this, please. This is strictly for informational purposes only. Hey John. To create a servitor, you want something to represent that servitor. Now, it can be a mental image in your head. It can be a creature or being or anything like that that you draw on a piece of paper. It can be a figurine that you're drawn to and such. We opted for the paper option. It would give us something physical to look at, which would be easier for us to manifest. So let's say you take a piece of paper and you draw a cat, okay? You draw your rendition of what you think your servitor cat's going to look like on that piece of paper. You color it, you give it a name, everything. Now, naming servitors is very special because you want to name them something that they represent, whether it is to attract power, attract love, attract money, divine intervention, whatever. You want to give them a strong name that only you know. And then you want to create a sigil for that name. Hey Dizzle, the topic is servitors. You want to create a sigil for that name. Chaos said, so I could have Godzilla as a servitor. Mind blown. Actually, yes, you could. So you create a sigil. And the easiest way I can say of how to create this is to get you a little wooden box. Let's say a jewelry box or a little wooden box from like Dollar Tree that you may keep your lighter or keys or cigarettes in or pipes, whatever your choice, but get you a little wooden box. And in this wooden box, at the very back of it, you're going to stand up your piece of paper of the picture of the servitor that you drew. In the bottom of the box, you're going to put the piece of paper that has the sigil that you've created for your servitor, which represents its name that only you know. You don't tell anybody its name. That way you are the owner, you are the creator of this entity. You sit the box in front of you, and this is where mind over matter comes in. This is where you have to manifest. You focus on that servitor. You picture it coming alive off that piece of paper. You picture it moving around in that box. That box has become its home. That's where it will stay. When it is not in use, your servitor will be in that box. That's where you will find it. Make sure when you give it instructions, you always tell it to come back to its home and stay until further instructions are given. So then you focus on the picture. You picture it alive. You picture it moving around in the box. Then you picture it growing. And you feed more energy into it. And you feed more energy into it. If you have ever read anything witchy, there's something called a cone of power. Well, it's kind of like taking that cone of power and putting it into this thing, into this being, into this entity that you are bringing to life. You are giving it life. Like I said, it's kind of like a tulpa, but it's not. And you picture it growing out of that box. And you can picture it and manifest it to grow as big as you want. But the ideal is never to have it bigger than yourself. So if you're short, if you're like me and you're 5 foot, 5'1", you don't want a servitor bigger than you. You just don't. You always want to keep it beneath you, under your control. That's what you want. Then once you have this image in front of you, hey Naomi, once you have this image in front of you that you can see by your mind's eye, that you see this entity in front of you, it'll be moving, it'll be swaying, it may turn around, it may jump in the air, it may act like a child. Whatever it's doing, you're seeing it with your mind's eye. You're still pumping energy into it. Then you tell it what you want it to do. And you have to be very specific. That's the key here. You have to, excuse me, you have to be very, very specific. If you want it to, excuse me, y'all, my voice is going out. If you want it to bring you money, you have to make sure that you tell it you need money to come into your life, but no harm shall come to nobody, no thievery shall happen, etc. You make sure you set the guidelines. And then when you feel ready, when you feel you've given it your all, you've dotted your I's. Hey, Shelly, you've dotted your I's. You've crossed your T's. You've made sure you gave it explicit instructions and told it, you have this many days to accomplish this. And then you've got to come back here to your box, to your home. Whether you're through or not, you've got to be back here. No rambling around in town, basically. You tell it to go. And you send it off on its own. You can actually picture it leaving your house. In your mind's eye, if you close your mind and you know how the road layout is of your home, picture it going down the side of the road, walking down the side of the road to town. You'll feel it. You will feel the energy path that it's leaving behind. Okay? It will go and do its job, but here's the kicker part. You have to feed it. Feeding the servitor is a little bit different. Hey, Shock. To feed a servitor, there are many different ways. Every day you can feed it energy. By pumping more energy into it, you use its box, its base. And even though it's not there, it's still in town doing what you want it to do. You still pump that energy to it. You still manifest it. You can feed it a drop of blood from your finger and let it drop on that sigil that you created that's in the bottom of the box. You can actually, and I've seen this from my apprentice, You can actually find a, let's say she found a dead spider. And so she literally put that in her box to help feed her servitor for a day. And she left it in the box. But you have to feed it every day, whether it's energy, a drop of blood, etc. A libation, a drop of alcohol. And I do mean like bourbon, vodka, whatever you think it would like. Feed it a cigarette, give it a cigar. You got to feed it something. You got to give it something. And you got to keep it going. And usually people will send servitors out for a week, 7 days. Okay? You do this for 7 days, and every day you're constantly feeding it, which is making it manifest more and more and more. And let's say you made this servitor to bring you abundance. Well, the reality of it is the servitor at the 7th day is supposed to come back to its box and be at home. Shrink down to size, stay in its little box. That's where you'll find it till you need to send it out again. And you may have a random check appear in the mail that brought you abundance. You may find $100 on the ground that brought you abundance. That friend that's owed you for so long may pay you. That brought you abundance. That's the way it will show up in your life. It has worked its magic and done its job and created the scenario to where abundance was brought into your life. And don't forget now, even when it's not in use, you still have to feed your servitor. You may not have to feed it every day while not in use. However, at least every 3 days to once a week, you need to feed it something, especially energy, to keep it where it's aka alive, to where it will keep going. You never want it, though, to outgrow you. Just remember that. Because then a servitor can then become a mind of its own. When it outgrows your control, you lose all control over your servitor. It is no longer yours to do your bidding. It then becomes basically, as Chaos said so elegantly a while ago, Godzilla. It will basically become Godzilla of the town. It will bring bad luck. It can and will bring chaos into your life, into other people's lives. It can wreak havoc. It can cause wrecks. It can just create a whole bunch of mishaps. Now, if you ever get tired of your servitor and you no longer want to work with it, you can basically make it go away. You can basically, I don't want to say kill it because it's not a living entity, but you can basically make it go away, make it disappear, make it be non-existent no more. And that's simply by reclaiming the power that you have fed it and put into it and telling it, yes, hibernation is when it is not in use. So, like, if I send a servitor out this week and for the next 3 weeks I didn't use it, I just fed it energy, but I didn't use it, it's basically in hibernation time. But you can dissolve your servitor. Unlike, from what I understand, you can dissolve it. Unlike a tulpa, that is very hard to get rid of once created, and especially once it has become its own entity with a mind of its own and its own thinking process. A servitor, you can dissolve it. You can make it non-existent once again. That's what a servitor is. That's how you create a servitor. Have I ever created one? Yes. Did it work for me? Yes. Did I dissolve my servitor after I used it? Yes. Do I still have a servitor? No. Does my apprentice still have hers? I believe she does. Does she still feed it? I don't know. Does she still work with it? I have no idea. But how do you dissolve it? Basically, you reclaim all the power that you put in it and fed it back into yourself. You become like a vacuum. And then you literally demand it. You are not needed no more. Thank you for your service. Your time is done. It is time for you to go and dissipate. You no longer have a home. You are no longer here. You are not allowed to roam. It is time you don't exist. And you dissolve it. But it takes a lot, you guys. It takes a lot of energy to create one. It takes a lot of know-how. And it takes a lot of power. And it takes a lot of gumption to create a servitor. Let alone you have to make absolutely sure that you state without a doubt your intention of what that servitor is for, what it is supposed to do, what it is not allowed to do. You have to be very, very, very specific, because if it can find a loophole, it will find a loophole. That's the only issue. So you want to make sure there are no catch-22s when you're talking to your servitor. There are no loopholes you forgot to cover up. You have to be very, very specific. Naomi, we're talking about servitors. It is a magical thing. And you asked me a question up there. How can you change your luck in life? Well, changing your attitude for one. Changing the way you perceive things and the way you see things in the world. That's number 2. And number 3 is sometimes you got to realize bad shit just happens to good people. Get your contract expert hat on. Yes, Shelly. It was a lot of, we went through, to create our servitors, we went through a long planning process. We planned everything out. We had everything marked. We had our names marked. Like I said, you want a name for your servitor that only you know. You don't tell it to anybody else because that gives them control over it. You only know that name. And you want names that are not obvious. You don't want to go, hey Bill, hey Sue. Like, you don't want obvious names. What I did was I literally made a sentence, a paraphrase actually, of a couple of words that I wanted my intention set on, and then I mixed those letters up and then came up with the name from those letters. And that's how my servitor come up with its name. And this has not been any time recently. So y'all don't get your panties in a wad. Lakaya has not done this recently. But I wanted to see if it could be done. I wanted to know if this was real. And I will tell you from personal experience, yes, it is real. And did it work for me? Yes, it did work for me. Do I think it is something that everybody should try? No. Do I think it is something that should be in the hands of everybody? No. However, the information about servitors are not readily available unless you know to Google for them, unless you know to research about them, unless you know how to dive into it. It's not going to be at your top of the list of magical things to search up. Like I said, yeah, tulpas are talked about a lot. Tulpas recently have picked up traction with people talking about them and bringing them up. Um, but a servitor is more like, okay, here's the difference. Let's use Slender Man for an example. Slender Man was fiction. 3 girls had a scenario where Slender Man was focused upon. And I'm not going to get into the details of all that nitty gritty of what happened with the 3 girls. But if you know the story, you know the story. And people all around the world were focused very hardly on Slender Man. They wanted to read everything they could about Slender Man. Some people thought it was real. Some people thought it was fake. Didn't matter. Everybody focused on it, which manifested it. And then a sacrifice basically was made. A feeding, an offering was made. But because so much negativity surrounded Slender Man, let's say, it leans more towards a tulpa. However, if one person had created Slender Man, if one person had brought it to life, and if that one person had it under control, then that would have been a servitor. That's the difference between a tulpa and a servitor. Tulpas can become where they have minds of their own, basically, where they become, where they act upon their own actions. They choose to do whatever. Now, servitors, granted, there are a lot of people out there that use servitors for a lot of evil reasons, and I do not agree with that whatsoever. I'm 100% against that. I don't agree with that. I think there's other ways to handle situations, but they do, such as going after enemies. They will send their servitor to do their dirty work because they are still in control of the situation. Anybody got any questions? Is this interesting? Have any of y'all heard about servitors before? Or is this like a new thing for you guys? I just know when I came across it a long time ago, it intrigued me and I had to try it. Because I'm that type of person, you know, I want to see what works and what doesn't. I want to see what's the real versus the fake. What is in front of the curtain minus behind the curtain. And like I said, I had to try it. Should I? I don't know. Did I know what I was doing? Pretty much. I would say like I said, I tried it once. It did work for me. But after I realized that it was real and it was really something that could be manifested, it was something that could work. Can it be vegetarian? That's the thing about a servitor. You make it whatever. It's yours. It belongs to you. How do you know if somebody put a curse on you? A lot of times people don't know if somebody put a curse on them. A lot of times people don't know. A lot of times there's no actual telltale signs unless they have been in contact with somebody that does practice magical stuff and they have pretty much had a falling out and then stuff goes haywire. That's pretty much how you can tell, unless they openly admit it. You know, and if they openly admit it, then you're good to go because you pretty much know who done it and how to counteract it. But a lot of times people do not know if they have a curse on them or not. And it also depends on, do I think curses work? Yes. I do think curses work because I believe people are able to focus and manifest that energy and use it for good or bad. It doesn't matter. So that's why. Hey, Lorna. Lakaya, do you remember the crazy voodoo doll story I told y'all that day? Yes. Yes, Shelly, absolutely. I remember. But like I said, servitors are real. You can look them up. You can read about them. You can look into the practice of who practices them. And different people come across servitors, and like me, they try it. Sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, it worked for me. Did it work for my apprentice? Not in the beginning as it did for me. She had to try again. Basically because she was not pushing. Shelly, you can type in your story in the chat if you want to type it in and tell Naomi. But she tried again the second time with her servitor, and it did work a second time. The first time hers did not work for her though, but that was because she wasn't manifesting and focusing her energy like she should have been. But she's new. She was trying. Practice makes perfect. That is the thing about magic, is it is a practice. So like I said, it took her twice to be able to get her servitor to actually work. But it worked for her as well. Like I said, I know she still has the box for hers. I know she still keeps it all together and put up. But do I know if she still feeds her servitor and works with her servitor? I have no idea. As a matter of fact, we haven't even spoken about it. It's been kind of a non-conversational piece to where we just don't bring it up. It's kind of like, okay, we did that shit, now what? It happened. Did it really happen? We know it happened. We've seen the results, but then you second guess and go, well, did it really? Did it really happen? Because like I said, magic and the manipulation of energy and the manipulation of thought processes and thought forms, it's it's up to the person that's making it. It's up to them if it's going to work or not. It's up to them of how much time and energy and control and manifestation that they put into it, if it's going to work or not. But like I said, Servitors did work for Servitor did work for me. Like I said, I had never, until I got to looking for it, I had never come upon what a servitor was. I had never heard of a servitor. Like I said, there was two different paths, and I had heard of the other one. Never touched the other one. It's almost the same thing as a servitor, except there's a lot more intricate detail to it that you have to do. It's more ritualized that you have to do. Hence, I opted for the path of least resistance, just because I wanted to see if this was I wanted to see if it was bullshit or not. Let's just be honest. I wanted to see if it was bullshit or not. And I was very surprised that it was not bullshit. Okay, so Naomi wants to know, how's my day been? Well, I've been waiting for 2 phone calls. All day. One I probably won't get till way later tonight, maybe. Hopefully, cross your fingers I get the phone call that I need. But I did get the one really, really important phone call that I was waiting on. And everything turned out okay. So that was good. I'm in a better headspace today than I have been the past couple of days. So that's good. I am trying to up my YouTube live stream game. So I'm pumping out more live streams to catch different people at different times. And like I said earlier, I'm going to try to do a couple of just chilling chats. Hey, Derek. And then do this one's a topic. The topic is Servitors and Magick, but we don't necessarily have to stay on that topic through the whole stream. But that's just the topic of, the stream for today, for this evening anyway. Will I do a live stream this evening tonight? I have no idea. It just depends. It depends if I get bored. Hey, Caitlin, how are you? Thank you so much, love. But like I said, it depends on if I get bored or not. It depends on if I've got anything going on. I don't know who else is doing streams tonight anyway. I don't know if Vault and Kat are busy or if they're gonna do a stream. I have no idea. Or Chaos or Truth or Bass. I know Truth and Bass are supposed to do one Thursday, I do believe. But like I said, I have nothing. A lot of times I have nothing but time to kill. You guys, I'm literally sitting here in a room by myself with just my phone. That's my life. My phone is my life. It's my livelihood. It's my connection to the outside world. So, here we go. A good friend and I from work had fun, joking relationship and would take turns ragging on each other, all in good fun, verbal. So one day I jokingly twisted several pieces of typing paper and then taped them so they were in the shape of a voodoo doll. I waited for her to come by my desk, and as she went by, I made a joke and then bit one of the legs off, acting like a goofball that I am. The next day, she comes in on crutches, injury to the lower leg, same leg and place that I bit off the doll. Oh, you stapled it. Excuse me, not taped, stapled. She stapled them, so they were in the shape of a voodoo doll. Mischievous says, like your new pic, Lakaya. Actually, Thank you. That is a old pic of me. That is a picture that I took right before the pandemic when I was at my smallest. And I seen that picture a while ago, and it is my favorite picture that I've ever taken. It's no filter on it, just a antique black circle around it, but there it's not filtered in any way. And I seen that picture a while ago. Y'all, I'm so southern. A while ago. I seen that picture a few minutes ago. And I thought, what better way to give myself motivation than to look at a pic that I think of me as absolutely beautiful and aim to get myself back to that level. Thank you, Naomi. But like I said, it's a 2 or 3 year old picture of me. It's right before my medication started making me gain weight, and I was, you guys, I was at my happiest in that picture. I felt beautiful, and I felt amazing, and I felt loved and wanted and secure and stable and healthy and all those feelings that you can feel. And so, like I said, I seen that picture a while ago, and I want to get back to that state, not just that physical state, but that mental state in my life. Hey, Red. Hey, sweetheart. And it it just reminded me of a really good place in my life. And like I said, I wanted to get back to it, and I thought, what better way than to use that picture as which it may be misleading to some because that's not exactly what I look like right now. But it's my goal. Red, she typed it in the comments, honey. You can scroll back up real quick and read the story. It's like 3 or 4 posts. It's pretty funny. It's about a voodoo doll, but it's pretty funny. But like I said, fair warning. I know I gave y'all explicit ways to make a servitor, but please, and the reason why I put that info out there is because it's hard to find that info unless you know what you're looking for. Like I said, I know a lot of people that practice magic that have never heard of a servitor before. And so I wanted to put the information out there so it doesn't stay hidden. I believe that that's one of the reasons why we've lost a lot of our history is because it stayed hidden. You know, people tried to protect it, and in return we lost it. So, you know, why not talk about it? Why not discuss it, especially for grown adults? Hey, Shalk, how are you? Like I said, I just felt like, you know, why not put that information out there? It may come back to, you know, shoot me in the foot, but oh well, somebody had to be brave enough to put it out there. Because I see a lot of other channels and witchy channels and spirituality channels, and they give you the basis. They give you the basics. But what they don't give you is the stuff to get your hands dirty. They don't give you the nitty gritty. They don't point you. They may point you in a direction, but usually it's not specific enough for you to find what you're looking for. So you've got all these people going around, you know, lost and confused, wondering what they're looking for. And for the people that don't practice magic, why not know about it? It's, why not know that this stuff is out there? This stuff can be manifested. Why not? Exactly, Shelley. It's important to know what other people can be doing. Exactly. And I think it is important to know. But like I said, servitors can be used for self-gain. Servitors can be used for good. Servitors can be used for evil purposes that I don't agree with, but they can be. Like I said, that's why when you make one, you have to be very specific on what it stands for, what its job is, because basically it's your worker. It has a job. It thrives on its job, and it wants to do its job 100%. It's your job to make sure that it does its job right, that it doesn't flub up, because if it flubs up, that's going to come back on you because you created it. Right, Red, agreed. Even 100%, even scripture states that we have the ability to manifest by thought, intent, and by speech. And we do. We do. If we can manifest with prayer, if we can make miracles happen by everybody getting together and praying and concentrating, think of what one person can do if they put all of their all into something. I mean, it's mind-blowing, but it can happen. It can absolutely happen. Red says, we have the power to speak life or death. Shelley said, and I believe certain scripture puts more emphasis on the intent and thought portion of it. So, that's my witchy topic of the day, servitors. Like I said, there's a path that particularly practices this type of magic. If you do your research, you'll figure it out. That's why it's not readily out there. And like I said, I had to go. Was told about it, and I had to go looking for it to find it. But once I did, and I read about it. Hey, David. Once I did, and I read about it, I just knew I had to try it. There was no second guessing it. I just knew. I just knew I had to try it to see if it was real. This is quite good. Interesting YouTube video you made. You should make more like this. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you very much for that. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff I can talk on. Sometimes though I feel like it's not the right time or place to put certain things out. But I don't know why the servitor thing that happened has been on my mind for a little while. Will I be making another one? No. No, I won't. Could I? Yes. Will I? No. Like I said, I've got all the proof that I need. I don't need to use it. I don't need no more proof. I mean, I just don't. But I thought y'all would get a kick out of hearing about a servitor and hearing my story. and what happened to me about it. Did anything bad happen, Lakaya? No, not with mine. It didn't, and not with my apprentices either. So no, I didn't have anything bad happen with my servitor at all. Like I said, I was very, very specific. So I made sure to dot my I's, cross my T's, make sure everything was in order before I even began. I even wrote down what I was going to think about, manifest, say, put in charge of. Like, I had a whole paper full. I made sure I was very explicit and specific with my servitor. Do I advise people of making a servitor? No, I don't. Especially if you've not been any type of magical practitioner. No, absolutely not. Do I think newbies should do it? No. The only reason why my apprentice was allowed to do it is because she had been practicing under me for a good while, and she basically was ready to be on her own, which now she is on her own. She learned the basics. She learned certain aspects, and now it's up to her to do her own thing and go down her own path. So, like I said, now she's living her life, doing her thing. I even saw an experiment that sound levitated an object, Red said. Let me tell you, that reminds me of a science experiment I done when I was a kid. Y'all, I hated science projects, and y'all know the dreaded science projects that I'm talking about, that schools make every kid do every freaking year with those boards and blah, 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 and you never win shit. I hate science projects with a passion. And the year that I absolutely had to do one and couldn't talk my way out of it, I did it on sound waves. And what I did was I took 2 bowls and I put wax paper over each bowl and put rubber bands around the bowl. And then I took sugar or salt, didn't matter. I think I used salt though. And I took salt and I poured it on the wax paper on the top of one of the bowls. And then I took the other bowl, and I turned it upside down about an inch above the first bowl with the salt. And I took a spoon and I hit the bowl. And it moved the salt on the wax paper. The more harder you hit the bowl, the higher the salt would jump off the bottom bowl. And then that was my first experiment for sound waves. And my second experiment was, of course, the simple 2 cans in a string. You take 2 cans, put a hole through the bottom of each one, put a string through it. Rope works better. Yarn works the best. Stretch it out taut or tight and speak. And the sound waves will hit the knot that you've tied in the bottom of the can and will travel down the string to the other can. I literally got 100 on that science project that year. I was super ecstatic over something so simple as sound waves. Something so simple as sound waves. And then a couple of years ago, I watched a video where this lady had bowls of water sitting all around the floor. And she would hit something. Sure, Shelly, go ahead. And all the water in all the bowls would jump up because the sound wave would travel through the bowls, through the water. It was amazing. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So, it's the way things work, the way light travels and the way sound waves move and the way your mind works and the way you can take intent and you can manifest, and like we each have so much power in us to create amazing things. It's amazing. If people actually realized the power we hold, a lot of the power hungry people in high positions would be out of a job. I agree. And the control of truth would be blown out of the water, no pun intended. Absolutely, Red. I highly agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Look, hey, you always have something interesting to say. You think so, Naomi? I don't think so. I think sometimes I just come on here and bullshit with y'all. But in all actuality, I just speak my mind. I speak how I feel, speak what I know, what I've learned, what I think. I don't, like I said, y'all have seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the tears, the laughs. Y'all have seen it and heard it all. I am just me. Little bit moves water, clouds, because I taught her that she is a supreme being. Absolutely. Mischievous says we have to keep our thoughts and words in check. I believe that too. I believe though that we as human beings are very flawed and we tend to forget that. And we tend to forget that words have power. And words can do a lot of damage. I believe words can heal. But words can also make people really sick. And that's what I find sad. That people don't understand the things they say and the energy and the emotion that they put behind it can greatly affect someone else. Greatly affect someone else. Hey Gregory, how are you? And that's one thing a lot of us humans take for granted, is that our words have power. A lot of us take that for granted. Because think how many times a day or a week or a month that you maybe have said something you shouldn't. You may have judged somebody you shouldn't. You may have been mean to somebody you shouldn't. Whether you had a bad day, a good reason, it doesn't matter. Shelley says, yes, absolutely. Okay, you got to check out Dr. Emoto's study. Some people spoke loving words to water in a bottle. Okay. I definitely will do that. I definitely will do that. Hey, Jojo, how are you? You're not late. You were not late at all. I'm just hanging out. Did a little topic on servitors, and now we're kind of just just talking. We're just talking now about whatever. Shock says, love you, create snowflake. I hate you. The snowflake is deformed. That's a good analogy. The water spoken to with love was perfect looking and beautiful, snowflake looking. The water that was spoken to badly was misshapen and distorted. Yeah. Water from the same sources, stored the same way, etc. Exactly. And like I said, us as humans, we tend to take it for granted. We tend to. That's why I believe the words I love you are so powerful and so deep. And I don't believe you only have to say that to your significant other. I believe if you love somebody, whether it be a family, a friend, a stranger, I believe everybody deserves love. I believe when a person doesn't know or doesn't receive love or isn't told that they're loved, it it can do a lot of damage if they don't hear it. It can really affect the psyche. So I tend to tell people that I love them. Like I said, I tell Z every day when I talk to her, I said, Z, I love you and I miss your face. That's literally what I tell her every single time I talk to her. And she'll tell you, all you gotta do is ask her. But I tell her, I love you and I miss your face. Because I want her to know she is loved. And she may not say it back because she's not the type that will. And that's okay. But I know by her actions she loves me too. I know by her actions she cares for me. That's why I said the other day, and I was kind of upset, but that's why I said I have so much love to give. Because I do. I have so much love to give. And I give it to all that I can, to all that I know already. You know, I'm just ready for that special person to be able to say it to them too. I want to make their day as special as they would make mine. Shelley says, I guess this evidences the power of communicating what we feel, though. Yes, actions speak louder, but words clearly go deep. They do. They really do. Yes, love is actually an action word. Yes. I firmly believe that. I believe that love is something that you create, you mold, you manifest it, you give it, you put it into action, you show it. It's all of those things. All of those things. Now, I mean, love is easy to find. All you got to do is look above you in chat or look below you in chat. That's where you'll find love. Love's easy to find. It's the one companion that you crave is what's not easy to find. That's where it gets a little tricky. Chalk says your cells will copy what your mind thinks. I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely. Red says, as within, so it will go without, and it will be returned. It begins from within. Y'all are some wise ass people in my chat. Like, people just don't know. Shelly says, many preach love yourself, not so easy. But if you just be the love that you are in your actions, that is how to manifest that love, in my opinion. Yes, I have been getting told lately I need to love myself. And my thing is, I do love myself. I love who I am. I love my flaws. I love my curves. I love my flab. I love it all. I love myself. And I love who I've become. I have no problem with that. I'm good with loving myself. I'm not saying I don't have insecurities, but I do love myself. However, I'm just ready to go out into the world and find that special person and to start rebuilding the next chapter of my life. That's what I'm ready for. And I'm ready. Like, I don't think I could be more ready. And I know people say, oh, it'll come with time. It'll come with time. But my thing is, and like I was explaining to, I was talking to Z and I was explaining to her today, we had like a really deep discussion. And I was explaining to her today, somebody like me right now that can't go to the grocery store, can't go to the gas pump, can't go to the library, can't go to the restaurants like that, to meet people and put myself into the mix of people in this world, the only option I have is online. And it may not be the best, it may not be for everybody, but that's the only option I have right now. It's what I have to work with. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm putting myself out online as if I would in real life, out in the open in the public. I'm not going to bars. I've never been a bar hopper. That's just not my thing. And no judgment to anybody that does. It's just not me. But I don't have that option, so my option is online. And my thing is, if I don't put myself out there, and if I don't play my cards, how is anybody ever supposed to come across and go, maybe she's my one? How would they ever know if I didn't put myself out there? So the way I see it, I'm not trying too hard. I'm doing the same thing a normal person would do, except for I'm having to do it at home online instead of out in the open. That's the way I look at it. Now whether people agree with me or not, oh well. But that's the way I look at it. And that's what I was explaining to Z this morning. That's how I look at it. I look at as my phone as You know, my phone is my world. It's all I've got right now. You know, I have access to Facebook and I have access to YouTube and I have access to phone numbers and text messages and emails. It is my way of communication. It is my way of meeting people. Naomi says, well, at least you have your boys to help you. Actually, no. Cobra's with his daddy, so I do not have him. And shortly, Lethal and his fiance will be leaving me as well, so I will not have them either. So it will be just me. Red said, I just don't like anybody where I'm at except my kid. I hear you, girl. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Shelley said, hey, I've never had anyone paying attention, kind of raised myself, so blessed to be who I am, but would be a welcome and new dynamic for me, real as can be. Naomi says, what the hell is going on? Naomi, we're just talking. Grown up talk. Jojo says, bring the love in your heart and let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Y'all gonna make me go all churchy on y'all now. Shell says, if I get married, I want my own room. I heard that. I don't know. I've kind of been by myself in this room for a couple months now. I kind of miss the company. I kind of miss the company. So it would be a nice change. Red said, I've been married twice. I'm not doing the third. It's the charm. Forget that crap. The last two were doozies. I'm out. Red, see, here's the thing, and here's what I've realized. You don't have to be married to be with somebody. You don't have to be married to be with somebody the rest of your life. You could be perfectly content and happy without ever having to have that piece of paper just to say you're married. Is my oldest son moving to Florida? No. No. They're not. That I know of. No. Shelley said, indeed, feeling blessed. Ladies and gents, thank you. Much love. Shelley, you know we love you. Red, that's what I told Z earlier. I told her, I said, it's just going to be me, her, and a house full of dogs and cats. She laughed at me. Shelley, I think you meant to say you don't plan on ever getting married again and unlikely to be in a serious relationship again. I think that's what you're trying to say. I don't know. It got a little confusing there for a minute. I had to, get my pull my glasses down upon my face and do the extra look just to make sure I read Shelanese. Had to get it down to the nitty gritty on that one. I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to being married again. I'm not for nor against it. I'm kind of neutral. Lakaya moved to Florida. Shelly, I thought about it. There's a big secret I had planned with somebody. It was a roommate, and we were supposed to move to Florida. But unfortunately, that fell through. I kind of got the short end of the stick on that one. So that kind of screwed up all of my plans. So I don't know where I'll end up or how life will be for me. Right now, it's really up in the air. And that's scary. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not. So, like I said, right now I'm kind of everything. My whole life is kind of either up in the air or in a black hole. That's about the way my life has went right this second. You know, it is what it is. So I'm hoping, though, I have my fingers crossed. I don't want to get my hopes up, you guys. I really don't. But I'm hoping later on tonight I can get in touch with old Ghost and me and him can actually have a long awaited conversation. Just as friends, but I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I do believe he tried to call me. I think he tried to call me this morning, but I'd already fallen asleep. So maybe tonight I can get a hold of him. I don't know. Like I said, he did email me. He said he told me some stuff about him and everything was cool. And like I said, I told him to call me. And like I said, I had this weird number on my phone. And I could be wrong. It may not be him, but that was the only person I could think of that number could be, was him. So I'm hoping, keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping tonight that we can finally, because we keep missing each other in emails. Like it's weird. So I'm hoping tonight, sometime or another, we can get on the same page and actually have a conversation. I got my fingers crossed. I got my toes crossed. I got my legs crossed. Like, I'm hoping we can actually have a conversation because, y'all, he seems like a really nice gentleman. And if nothing else, friends, you know, but he said he wants to get to know me. I want to get to know him. And he seems like a really nice gentleman. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't want to get my hopes up though. That's my problem. I tend to get my hopes up and they crash. I've already had my hopes up once and it crashed in my face. And I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going there. So, you know, this time, who knows? Maybe he's not a frog. Maybe he's a prince. Maybe he'll be the best friend I ever had. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Excuse me, guys. But like I said, I'm trying not to get my hopes up. But you know, us girls, let's be honest, we're girls. Most of everybody listening's girls. If you're a guy, just ignore it. But you know, us girls, we get our hopes up sometimes, even when we shouldn't. We still do. We get giddy and we smile, and That's kind of the way I feel right this minute. It's a little weird. I'm not used to it. And I know it's so stupid, especially over somebody I ain't even really had a conversation with. Hey, curious cat. Like I said, I know it's stupid. I'm not dumb. I'm not 16 again or 15 or 14, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is, y'all. This is like a different feeling. I don't want to say it feels right because I don't want to jinx it, but it feels different. It feels different than all the others anyway. Um, it's exciting. It is exciting. Especially to me that, like, y'all, I have no excitement in my life. Um, so it is exciting to me. It's exciting to me that somebody, and his exact words were, and I'll share this part. His exact words were, "I wouldn't mind getting to know you." And just that right there, somebody saying, "I wouldn't mind getting to know you." Like, I was like, finally, somebody that will take the time to get to know me. It's about time because I've been going through y'all frogs galore. And please don't tell me my lighter just went out, y'all. I'm gonna be so sad. I think my lighter just went out. Damn it. Why now? I'm starting to sweat, you guys, talking about this. Like, seriously. Woo. No, lighter, no. Oh, shit. Just my damn luck. I have two lighters. One went out, and I cannot find the other one to save my life. I have no idea where it disappeared to. No, my stove is a glass top, and it doesn't light worth a shit. And it's all the way through the house, and I'm not going through the house to go to the stove. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't know what happened to my other lighter. Like I said, I usually have two sitting here. But this one has flown the coop. Yeah, this lighter's done for. And I had a whole pack of lighters, and I've lost every single one of them. Do y'all do that? Smokers, do y'all lose your lighters? Like I said, I had a whole pack of lighters, and I've lost every single one I had. Nope, I don't have matches either. Like, seriously, this lighter, like, just my luck. Shape the thing upside down. I did. It literally is out of fluid completely. Maybe the universe is saying you don't need one right now. Well, the universe needs to change its mind. It needs to change its mind and decide differently. I had another one sitting up here last night. I was using it during Vault Show, and it completely disappeared. I reached for it and it was gone. So where that lighter went to, the hell if I know. I never heard it fall, so I don't think it fell off my bed. I've looked all in my bed. Can't find it. Have no idea. No freaking clue. But like I said, I'm excited. I'm nervous, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. But I hope, like I said, I hope that we can finally mesh together tonight and have a phone call and you know, everything go okay. I hope so. I don't want to push my luck. I don't want to be too forward. I don't want to be too forward, but I don't want to be too reserved either. I just want to be me. But I get so damn nervous. So damn nervous. Especially somebody to give me, little old me, the time of day. So I don't know. We'll see. Y'all know I'll tell y'all tomorrow if we get to talk or not. Who knows? Who knows? I hope so, though. He seems like a really, really nice guy. He really seems like a really nice guy. Really nice guy. I don't know. When I read his email, it made me smile, and I haven't smiled in a long time. It's nervous excitement. Yeah, curious cat. Yeah, it is nervous excitement. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm gonna, you know, I don't even know if I'm gonna get a hold of him. I don't know. He may be hard to get a hold of. He may be busy. I know that he says he's up late at night, so I don't know what time exactly. And like I said, I have that number to call. I don't know if that is his number or not, but damn it, I'm sure gonna see because I'm gonna call it if it don't call me back first. But I don't know. Jojo says, take a deep breath and just be yourself. Oh, Jojo, you don't know me that well. When I get nervous, I get super shy, super quiet. I don't know. I need to put a knife in my purse. I took the knife out of my purse and did something with it. Now I can't find it. So I need to find one and put it back in my purse. Always have a knife. Always. You never know when you'll need it. Hey, Kurt. Just breathe and let it happen as it may. Don't force it. Yeah, I know. He should have put his number in his email. Most people don't pick up if they don't know the number. Yeah, Gregory, I think, though, when it first come up, I think it could have said his real name. So that's what makes me think that it was him. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I just have a feeling it was him calling. So, like I said, I'm hoping tonight I can get a hold of him, and I'm hoping that we can actually sit down and have a conversation, and get to know each other, and see if we have any common interest, and talk about each other, and do it, just talk. But am I a little giddy? Yes, I am a little giddy. Am I excited? I am excited. Drive safe, curious cat. I always tell you that anyway. But yeah, I'm excited. It's like I said, all this is new to me. Y'all know that. All this is new to me. I was with Vault since I was 16 years old, and I didn't really date. So me and him just kind of slammed together as fate and got married. So, all of this shit it's all new to me, and I don't know how to feel. Shelly, I do too. I just don't want to jinx it. That's what I'm scared of. I have a good feeling too, but I'm scared that it's a false feeling and I will be dropped on my ass, and that's what I'm scared of. And I've already been dropped on my ass. So and not by Vault. I promise y'all it's not Vault. That's not who I'm talking about. But I've already been dropped on my ass, so I don't particularly want to go through that again. Like I said, I've been through several frogs already. You know, I'm looking for Mr. Right. Not Mr. Right now. Like I said, I have a good feeling too. I have a really good feeling. I just, like I said, I don't want to jinx it. I'm Hasn't he heard you on Vault's channel? Yes, he has. Do I now here's the thing, JoJo. This is where I'm kinda iffy. Most everybody knows me from Vault's channel, right? And if I'm not mistaken, him and Vault have talked before on the phone. So I do believe Vault knows him. Hence why Vault was saying, oh, let's play matchmaker. Oh, Ghost, email Lakaya. But I don't know how much he knows about me from Vault's channel. Like, I'm kind of certain he knows like our situation, how we split. You know, that Vault is with Christina. I am single. You know, I think he gets all that. It's a weird dynamic. I get it. A lot of people don't, but you know, it works for us. I think he knows about all that, but I don't think he has gotten, I don't know if he knows who I am the way some of y'all know who I am from being from Vault's channel and then following me over here. Because I don't think he follows me over here on this channel. And this is where I'm more real. I'm more me. I show y'all more of who I am. I let y'all into my secret private area in my room, let's say. You know, this is where our secrets are told. This is where our thoughts are formed. You know, this is the Lakaya Show. This is all about Lakaya, me. This is who I am. This is my life. And I don't know if he knows any of that. How I think, how I feel, the way I see things. He may, I don't know, but he may not. I'm not for sure. Just like I don't know how many, you know, recent videos of vaults he's seen to know what's going on. Have no idea. Only time will tell. And that's why I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping I can talk to him and, you know, just see and get a feel for what he's thinking, how he's feeling. Hoping that he doesn't feel, JoJo, I don't think he has. I'm not going to say he hasn't listened to my channel, but I don't think he has listened to my channel. So you know, I don't want him to feel as if when we put him, my biggest concern is we kind of put him on the spot on Vault's 2 shows, mentioning him and telling him to email me. And I just hope he wasn't embarrassed or offended that we kind of told him email me and that he felt like he had to. I want to make sure that he did that because he wanted to and not because he had to because we were messing with him. I was serious. However, I just don't want him to feel like he had to because everybody said do it. That's my number one concern. I hope not. Like I said, he did say that he would like to get to know me, which I think is a good thing. And he did tell me a little bit about himself. Shelly said he wanted to. He was putting out the feelers. I think he was the aggressor, really. You know, hey, Primal. I don't know. You're not the first person, Shelly, that said that today, though, to me. You're not the first person that said that. Somebody else told me that it sounds like that he's kind of into me. So, I don't know. I don't know. Only time will tell, and like I said, I have to wait till I talk to him, and it just seems like we keep missing each other, and it's a little bit aggravating. It's a little bit stir crazy. I'm kind of ready to, like, it's kind of, hey, Night Wolf, how are you? It's kind of like ready to rip the Band-Aid off. Like, I'm ready to just get it over with. That first initial conversation, just rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, and relax and let it just flow as it goes. But it's always that first initial moment of, hey, how are you? How are you? Da da da. That always kills me. I always hang up. Well, not hang up the phone, but I get hung up in words. So, Night Wolf says it's hot, hot, hot in Dallas. I believe it. I believe it. It's hot here too. It's actually pretty hot here. My air conditioner's doing everything it can do, and it's the room's cool now. Don't get me wrong, the room is cool. However, because I'm a little flustered, and yes, I use the word flustered. Because I'm feeling a little flustered, I'm a little hot. So, Ghost Hawk says break the ice. Break the ice. Isn't there a game that's like break the ice or don't break the ice or something like that? Man, I wish I knew where my lighter went. This is gonna drive me crazy. I want a cigarette so bad. Like, really bad. And I really don't want to have to send my son to town for a lighter because he would get mad. Shell said, I also have the kind of luck I would have ended up in jail. Serious AF. Apparently I am perceived much different than I am by cops and stuff. Oh, wow. Goodness. Goodness gravy. I know I'm beating a dead lighter. I'm mad at it. It's okay, Shelly. It's have side conversations all y'all want. Go right ahead. It's fine. It just happened to be the first thing that appeared in my side chat over here, so I was like, might as well read it. Why not? I just really wish my lighter would work. I don't know what I did with that lighter, though, you guys. I really... Hold on. I don't see it anywhere. Shit, I have no idea, you guys, where it went. And like I said, I had it right there beside me during Bolt's live stream. Reached over, went to grab it, and it was gone. Shelly said, thanks, I'm multitasking. I'm super excited for you. Thank you very much. Red, I don't even have a first aid kit. I think Balt took that sucker when he left. And when he come and got a Cobra, and they went back to Florida, I think Cobra's backpack had the first aid kit in it. Lakaya, you sound quite chipper today, and it's lovely. Thank you, Primal. I am in a better mood. We've been guy talking. We've been talking about guys. That's what we talked about Servitor for the first hour, and now we're talking about guys. I'm waiting for a phone call tonight, hopefully, and I'm excited, and I don't want to be overly excited, but I have to say I'm overly excited. And I don't know. I'm in an excited mood. I don't want to make a fool of myself, though, you guys. Like I said, I'm talking to y'all like y'all are my besties. Like, I don't want to make a fool of myself. Seriously. So that's what I'm worried about. That's what I just did, Mischievous, was check under the bed. I literally was just doing that. Like I said, I have no idea where the lighter went. I don't have a clue. Don't have a freaking clue. Well, you guys, I'm fixing to get off here for a little bit. I don't know if I'll come back on later or not. I probably will if there's nothing else going on, because I have nothing else to do. So, you guys have a good evening. Enjoy your supper. Enjoy your rides home from work. For those of you that are just going to work, don't work too hard. Pray and wish me luck that I get my phone call tonight or something. Like, seriously. I'm ready to, get it moving. I'm ready. So, hey, Gregory Ellison. Thank you for stopping by. So, like I said, think about me. Keep your fingers crossed. Hope it goes well. And like I said, hopefully I may see y'all later. It just depends. Love, peace, chicken grease. See you guys later. Bye.